everybody. This is Brian Ankney with Auto Success Magazine. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us today. Today, my guest is Tim James from Flick Fusion. He's going to discuss 5 profitable ways to use video in your service department. And actually, that's a really exciting topic for us. I'm sure a lot of you have saw last week the second issue of Auto Success Service came out, brand new publication that covers all things fixed operations. If you haven't already, please go to Facebook and join the group Auto Success Webinars. You just type it into the search on Facebook. It'll bring it up. It's an open group. It's a great place for you to suggest future webinar topics you'd like to see covered, and a place to interact with both our presenters and other attendees. As you try to implement the things you're going to learn today and in other webinars, you know, if you hit a stumbling block or you've got something in front of you that you don't know what to do, you know, go there and ask, because there's lots of other people that are undertaking that same initiative, and you can utilize, you know, their experiences and their solutions to help in your store as well. Tim, if you'd like, you know, take it away. I appreciate everybody coming. Oh, one more thing. If you have questions, please type them in the question bar. It's on the right. Next to questions, you hit the plus sign. It opens up. You type in a question. And then from there, I'll save all the questions for the end of the presentation, and we will get to all of them. Tim, take it away.
Thank you, sir, Brian. I appreciate it, and thank you for having me here again. It's always a pleasure to be here with Auto Success, and thank you everybody in the audience who's taking time out of your day to join us. I hope we're able to give you some valuable information, and definitely look forward to your feedback. We are going to talk about 5 profitable ways that you can use video in your service department, and you know, I'm sure we all know that you know, video is about storytelling, and with today, more and more dealerships really starting to gear up, adding a lot of video content, shooting this kind of a video, that kind of a video. The stories that are being told out there are getting better and better. So obviously, when it comes to storytelling and really connecting with that shopper to get that shopper into your funnel, get them into your store, the best story wins. So it's never been more critical than it is today to really start learning what to do with this video. You know, we've got this kind of video, that kind of video. A lot of you probably already have some great video content, and you know, huge thumbs up to y'all for the ones of you that do. The ones that are in, you know, in the audience today that don't have a lot of video content yet, that's okay. You know, that's probably why you're here, and hopefully we're going to give you a good blueprint. And that's what this is really about, is exactly that, a blueprint of not just what videos you should have for a good video marketing strategy for your service department, but how you should use those videos, really leveraging them against along with each other, so that they have the biggest impact on your overall business. Because that's one of the biggest, unfortunately, the biggest things, problems that I see with dealers out there today is exactly that. They've got video, they just don't have a strategy. And there's a big difference between the two. So as we just move along a little bit, I'll throw out a couple of numbers for you. I always like seeing these statistics, because you know, the numbers that we see surrounding video are already huge. But man, they're just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. They're going to continue to grow. Cisco projects that by 2018, 80% of all internet traffic is going to be some kind of a video. It's already close to 60%. So it's not like that's a huge, you know, untangible number. It's grown so fast over the last couple of years already. How-to videos are one of the top search terms. They're up 70% just from year over year. Companies that use video have 41% more web traffic from search. I mean, there's number after number after number. 40% more chance of a purchase if you have a video as part of your research that a shopper's done via a mobile device. Tons of statistics. Of course, we've heard about using video and emails. 200% increase in click-through rate with some kind of a video associated with the email. The consumers tell us they want video. The shoppers say that 59% of the shoppers said they would prefer to watch a video instead of reading a text and looking at pictures. So that's really what video, the main reason for using video is just exactly that. If the shopper tells us this is what the kind of media they want to utilize, as a marketer, we have to make certain that we're delivering our content the way that the shopper wants. For your service department, it's now, and the story that you can tell, it's really about humanizing that department. Man, from a consumer standpoint, we start thinking about, I've got this service that needs to be done, I got that service that needs to be done. Obviously, your new purchase customers, your shoppers who have just purchased a vehicle from you, the very next sell now is getting them to your service department. You've got all kinds of special programs that you install there at the store to try to make that vehicle customer a service department customer as quickly as possible. But that's such a small percentage of the population in your area. So there's a lot of storytelling that you can do to the population around you to let them know that your service department isn't such a scary place. That's just really what it comes down to, is overcoming fear. When we talk about fear, as a consumer, we think that if we go to a dealership for our services, you're going to take longer to perform the same service than if I took it down the road to this quick shop or that quick shop, because they've got the word quick in it. They spend the other shops in your neighborhood spend tons of money advertising and playing on that fear, sending messages day after day to your shopper, your customers and your potential customers, telling them if you have a service, you need to bring your vehicle to us because we're not going to take as long. They then also play on the fear of that it's going to cost more if I take it to the dealership. And there may be a lot of times when certain services that's true, but there's also a reason that this particular service or that particular service might come with an extra cost, a little additional cost at the dealership when it comes to the experience and the expertise of your team. But then the big thing is, just in general, shoppers, consumers don't trust mechanics in general. You factor in the general fear that the consumers have with dealerships overall, you're fighting two battles at the same time. So that's really what your strategy has to be built around, is how can I overcome these fears that the consumer has that's preventing more of not just our new car purchasers, but the general public that's in our city, to overcome those fears and get them to trust us and bring their car into us for service. So I've broken it down into these 5 particular types of videos that are extremely important to your strategy. Now, there are other videos you can use as well, but every service department video strategy needs to have, at a minimum, these 5. So let's jump into them. First, let's talk about the value proposition. This is the why trust us message. So you probably have a good value proposition for your dealership as a whole. It's really targeting the new car shopper. You need a similar video for your service department. A video that says, hey, you know what? Here's who we are on the service side of the dealership. Here's why you can trust us. Here's the expectation. We know you have this this mental expectation in your head already. Let me tell you what the real expectation is, and why you should bring your car to us.
Hi, I'm Ron Phillips, Service Director at Russell Toyota Scion, and thank you for visiting our website. I'd like to take this time to show you what Russell has to offer. It starts right here with our valet check-in and parking. Once you've entered our service write-up area, you'll be greeted by one of our 12 service advisors, eager to take care of your service needs. You'll find our staff courteous, friendly, and caring. With your convenience in mind, we also offer shuttle, loaner, and rental vehicles by appointment. For those visits that you'll be waiting with us, please enjoy our spacious and comfortable waiting lounge. Have a cup of coffee and or tea. We also offer Wi-Fi access that you can utilize for school, work, and fun. We offer a children's play area. We also have a quiet lounge for those that would like it. Our dealership has 38 service bays with state-of-the-art diagnostic and repair equipment with factory-trained technicians. Our technicians have met skill level guidelines of the manufacturer of certified, expert, master, as well as the highest level of master diagnostic technician. Focusing on your availability, we offer night owl and early bird drop-off. So that way your vehicle can be dropped off no matter the hour to be serviced. On behalf of the Russell organization.
So a lot of good content in that video. You see that it doesn't have to be this huge high dollar production. Just really making it real, you know, bringing things home, really humanizing the experience that somebody's going to have, really talking about the experience of the mechanics, you know, the convenient features, all kinds of great stuff. Here's another example.
We do have extended hours. We are open from 7 a.m. until midnight, Monday through Friday. We are open on Saturdays from 8 to 4. We also have a great lobby for our customers. We have a cafe. We have free Wi-Fi. We also have a play area for our children as well. We actually have our express maintenance that we do. It's less than 59 minutes. They take care of your oil change, tire rotation, your inspection of the vehicle. We suggest that you normally do make appointments with us over the phone or through email, whichever one you prefer. But we also take walk-ins as well for those customers that can't come in for appointments. We service all Toyota makes and models as well as Scion. We also have a special day for ladies. That's every Wednesday. We do a free lunch and a little goodie bag from our service advisors. We have people with cosmetic products, jewelry. We've also had a masseuse come in and give massages to our ladies. So it's a good way to keep our ladies occupied and keep them pampered while they're getting their cars serviced.
You know, what a great message. You know, that's, I think the fear is definitely amplified for women, you know, in their fear of mechanics, really, you know, thinking that if they take their vehicle to a mechanic without, you know, their husband, their brother, cousin, a male friend, whomever, that they're just really going to get taken advantage of. And, you know, that's a great message. If you have a program like that, make sure you're talking about it in your value proposition video. Mention any kind of awards that your service department has won. Mention your Better Business Bureau rating. Definitely talk about the experience of your techs, how they're trained, any kind of special incentives or events like was mentioned. But again, it's all about humanizing. It's all about just making it real and making sure that you're really overcoming that initial I don't know if we can really trust these guys, you know, feeling that that most shoppers are going to have. So next we'll talk about your testimonial videos. Now, a testimonial video, there's two types of videos that you can do. This one is just what I call just a production style. So you can tell they've put a little bit more work into it. They're doing some post shoot editing. They have different types of clips and whatnot, but it's still very humanized in that you can really feel like the person who's talking to you. You know, in the first video, it's you telling the shopper, you can trust us. in the testimonial video, it's other shoppers telling other shoppers, you can trust them. And that's powerful when they hear it from somebody else, but it can't sound scripted. It does still have to sound real and humanized. So here's one example of how a testimonial video can flow.
But I've had such good rapport, I had such good relationships before, where I'm making stuff that this is where I have to come. I don't have a choice. I enjoy the service, appreciate the customer service, the friendliness, the atmosphere, and it doesn't feel like a business when I come. It feels like family. I've never been here too long now, and there's times I want to stay longer because I'm so comfortable, but they always get me in and they get me out. I'm on my way with a smile. I've been to several places in my life to have my car worked on, but I've never seen anything like this. You get a better sense of feel of being a part of what's being done to the car when you get a chance to look at it and see it. Nothing's being hidden. It's open to the public. It's open for you to see, so you feel more comfortable. I feel more comfortable. I hope they find something else wrong with my car. I had such a good time with it. Yeah. I had such a good time when I'm here. Find something else wrong. Yeah, I do. Always, yeah.
So, you just really get to know that guy in that short period of time. You really feel like, you know what, I can trust him. And if he says all these great things about that service department, then yeah, I get it. My fear level is definitely coming down. The next way would be, and this might be the better way for you to start. If you don't have any service testimonials already and you're looking for how do I get something which is, hopefully then going to be better than nothing. And that's an interview style. So that's where you have a certain list of questions that you're asking the person. Try to make it a little easier on your customer, so they don't have to really think off the cuff. And
Where are you from? My name is Alan Schwartz. I'm from Minnetonka, Minnesota. And what vehicle are you having service today? I have a 2005 CTS-V. And who was your service advisor today? Ed Lehman. And could you tell us a little bit about your experience today? Well, this was a double experience. One is I had a recall. My mechanic was responding very well, and I had it from my routine oil change, and they found that I needed a replacement part on the rear end. Great. Would you recommend Maurice to family and friends? Yes. I used Maurice for a while. I've been a customer here at Cadillac for 5 or 6 years. They always have good service. I would highly recommend.
so the interview style works extremely effective for you as well. Ask them, about any fears they had prior to coming in. Were there any concerns? Was there anything that in the back of your mind that that you were thinking about that would make your experience negative? Let's get it out there in front so that everybody's talking about it, and then make sure they address how you were able to overcome that fear and really give them a completely different experience than what they perceived what they were going to have. Because again, now you're talking the language of the other customers that are out there that are having those exact same fears and preconceived thoughts. Really mention the value of what they of the experience. Ask them what they like most about the experience. Really try to get the shopper, try to get the customer to loosen up and to really just kind of talk and start free flowing a little bit. But if you can just get them to hit on a couple of quick points, it doesn't have to be dynamic. It doesn't have to be this huge production, and it can still have a lot of value and go a long way in when viewed by other customers or potential customers in overcoming some of those initial fears and helping get them down to your store as well. So a couple of ways to do the testimonial videos, and the same goes for the service manager introduction videos. There's a couple of different ways that you can do them. One way would be to the interview style, like we were just talking about, where again you've got a certain list of questions, things that you want to make sure that you're asking your service manager, and you know, really humanizing them, but most importantly, really helping the public know that you can trust me now. So this is really what this video is all about, is look, I know this is a scary thing for you. You've heard us talk about the dealership and why you can trust our dealership. You've heard other shoppers, other customers talk about the positive experience they've had, telling you that you can trust us. But you know what? If anything goes wrong, if for some reason you're not happy, you've got me. I'm in your corner. And that's what the service manager introduction video is all about.
Greg, tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been working here at Crossroads?
I've been working here since we opened the doors 6 years ago.
That's great. Now, tell me, why should a customer get their service work done here at this dealership?
Well, I feel like personally there's several reasons why customers should come here. First of all, we have factory trained technicians. We have, use factory parts. And not only that, but all of my employees, including myself and service advisor, know that we're going to do the right thing here. And we're going to treat every customer the way that we personally would want our mothers to be treated if they were to come in someplace in business.
That's great. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from? Hobbies, family?
I'm from Honolulu, Mississippi. I have a wife, Allison, and 3 kids. 2 of those happen to be a set of 3-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. I'm in the automotive business, so of course I like to fool with hot rods and horses. I train horses and fool with hot rods, restoreable vehicles, street rods, type of thing. Anything with a motor or anything like that, I enjoy doing.
And if somebody needed to get in touch with you, what could they do?
They can get in touch with me anytime. You contact me through email at craig@crossroadsgm.net or reach me here at the dealership.
Sounds good, Craig. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that's the interview style. Now here's one that had a little more production work added to it.
My name is Jeff Anderson. I work here at Toyota of El Cajon. I've been here in excess of 15 years. I'm the shop foreman, the lead master tech, as well as a team leader. By the time I was 23, I was already an AC master technician and expert level technician through Toyota.
Yeah, but Jeff Anderson, shop foreman, nice seeing you today. Thanks for coming to see us.
I love my job. I'm excited to come to work every single day. I'm mainly involved with running a team and interacting with our customers and trying to solve problems for them. So the most exciting part of my day is when I have a challenging problem with a customer that they can't figure out, and maybe someone else has to figure out, and I can go in there and dissect it, figure out exactly what's going on with their vehicle or with their concern, and try to make them happy.
It's definitely hands-on all day long.
Yeah, being involved with Toyota right now is an exciting time in our lives. There's so many different technologies we come out with, with the Prius and the hybrids and the smart key technologies. It seems like Toyota doesn't have an end to what they're able to do for us, and what that does is keep us learning, keep us involved, keep us excited about the new programs that are coming out, and the new products that are coming out. You're always having new opportunities, new challenges brought to you every single day. So no matter if you've been in the business for 1 year or 10 years or 30 years, you're always going to have those new challenges to learn new things every day.
So again, they put a little more work into that particular video. The thing about it, you want to make sure that, again, it's about humanizing. It's about making the person likable. We know that people buy from people that they trust, and we know people trust people that they like. So the more likable you can make your people, the more comfortable the shoppers are going to feel. And this doesn't have to be just for the service manager. You can have an introduction video like this for everyone at your store, where you're really humanizing, really getting the public, anyone that's watching that video, to go, you know what? What a nice person. What a nice guy. What a nice gal. And that's what it's about, making it personal. Brag about the years of experience that you have, any particular awards that you had. And if no matter who it is, you always want to send that message. You can trust me. You can count on me. I'm here for you. So it's a very important part of the equation when talking about the main reason that's keeping shoppers from visiting your service department, the fear and lack of trust. So what can also really play a huge role in not just getting you found, because how-to videos are one of the biggest search terms out on the web. People are always looking for, how do I do this, how do I do that? And service customers in particular, not necessarily because they want to do the service themselves, there's that curiosity. Like the one testimonial with the gentleman standing over the bridge and watching the service being done and commenting about that. The fact that he can stand here and watch what's being done to his vehicle. So that's really what the consumers are curious about, or what are you going to do? A lot of dealerships have this fear that, well, if I go create these how-to videos, I'm going to be driving shoppers out of my service bay because now they're going to try to do it themselves. And no, they're not. You know, you have a certain group of the public out there, of the population, that are the do-it-yourselfers, and they're going to do it themselves whether you have this video or not. Then you have the majority of the consumers out there who, even though they're curious, they still don't have the time, they don't have the equipment, they don't have the patience, and most importantly, if you do the how-to video correctly, they don't have the confidence in doing the repair themselves. So the how-to video, you want to make sure that you're creating your own fear now. So you want to pick some of your most common services, some of your most profitable services, and you want to show what work is involved. Do little clips to show partial teasers. This isn't a from beginning to end type of a video where you're making a video of the entire process. You can do short little clips of little, certain little aspects of it. But most importantly, what you want to talk about, again, thinking about the fear. Why am I curious about potentially doing it myself versus just taking it down to the store? One is, how long is this thing really going to take, and why does it take that long? So discuss the time involved in this particular type of repair and why it takes that much time. Discuss any unique tools that are needed, any kind of special equipment that's needed to correctly do this repair, so that anybody who's kind of thinking about, from a curiosity perspective, understand, well, I don't have those kinds of tools, there's no way I want to do this myself. But then they also understand that, well, that's another reason why that this particular service does cost this particular amount of money, and that may be another reason why I want to take it to a certified dealer versus just some local mechanic down the street, because he may not have all these specialized pieces of equipment either. Really talk about what can go wrong if you don't do the service immediately. So if you're experiencing this symptom, and you don't get this fixed right away, here are some of the additional expenses you could be looking at, because here are some of the additional repairs you're going to need because you didn't fix this one right away. Simultaneous, if you try to do this, if you are thinking about doing this yourself at home, be aware that this can go wrong and this can go wrong, and if these things happen, here's the additional time and the additional money that it's going to take to, fix the big problem that you created from not doing a small problem correctly. So using that fear can really go a long way in really helping, believe it or not, helping the shopper trust you. and understanding that, you know, they're not trying to just rip me off when they tell me that here's some of the additional repairs I need when you finally get there, because you've already preempted that by letting them know if you're having these symptoms, here are some other things that have either already gone wrong or could go wrong. So you can go, these videos can go a long way. Plus, using them in your alongside of your other videos really tells the shopper that, wow, these guys they're going out of their way. They're sending a message to everybody that, you know, here's how you do it. If you don't trust us to do it yourself, here's how you do it. So that goes a long way in really helping build trust with the shopper. And this can also easily be done as an interview. So that's one of the biggest pushbacks I hear from the service department, from the mechanics is, you know, people start to freak out a little bit when they get a camera on them, and you know, they don't necessarily want to shoot the repair. They don't want to be alone with the camera. So if you can, just like the interview, if you need to start this way and ease people's anxiety a little bit, that's absolutely fine. It can still be a very informative video, and I included a little script, if you will, that you can take and you can use with your mechanics. So you know, again, it's a very basic blueprint. You want to talk about their experience, the amount of time that they've been, you know, any certifications that they have, the number of times that they've performed this particular type of a service. Then you really want to get into what we were just talking about, and that's, you know, ask them to share what's going to go wrong if you don't fix this right away. What are some things that could go wrong during the repair that if you don't do the repair correctly, if you don't utilize the right tools, the right equipment, how can you make it worse? What additional expenses can you add to the overall repair? So that's the how-tos, and now we're getting to the good stuff. You know, when the shopper is finally in your store, man, we all are just waiting. We know if we're sitting in the waiting room, we're just waiting. We know somebody's going to be coming in any second and showing me all these other things I need to get fixed. It's such an anxious moment for everybody sitting in that service department. If we dropped our car off, man, we're just watching that phone. We're just waiting. I know somebody's going to be calling. I know they're going to be saying, I need to fix this, I need to fix that. You know, we all know what's going to happen. So it's a part of the process. 99.9% of the time, you know, it's true. All these additional repairs are necessary and are needed. Unfortunately, over the history of time, there have been repair shops out there who unfortunately aren't always honest and aren't always forthright, and the rest of us have to overcome their mistakes because they've done a very good job of creating making this a legitimate fear, making it real. So what we can do to really remove the fear of, is this something that I really need to have done or not, is give visual proof. And that's what a video will do. So, you know, you try to give visual proof with little things like, you know, showing how dirty the air filter is when changing oil, and you need your air filter changed too. Look how dirty this thing is. You know, little things like that to try to add that visualization. Well, when the customer drops their car off, if you can just get the permission to have the mechanic text them, send them a text video showing you, you know, the repair that they're doing, and if there's any additional things, repairs that might need to be done, they'll send you a quick video of that as well. Does that sound cool? Which, you know, is this number we should text you at? And whether they're sitting in the waiting room or whether they've dropped their vehicle off and have driven down the road, you want to make sure that you send the text to them with that visual proof with the mechanic also then talking about exactly what we were talking about in the how-to video, and that's, look, if you don't get this, here's the risk. Here's why I'm worried about you. Here's why this concerns me. And more importantly, yeah, it's an additional X number of dollars right now, but if you don't get this fixed right away, here's the additional money that this could potentially cost you, because this can also then have an impact on this part of your vehicle, and this part of your vehicle is going to impact your fuel mileage by this much. All kinds of different things that your mechanic can say while talking and giving that visualization to the shopper of the additional repairs that need to be done. And that it all boils down to exactly, you know, what we started talking about in the beginning, and that's humanizing the experience and overcoming those fears. Now, once we have these videos, what do we do with them? How do we get the best use out of them? Well, I'm going to backpedal for a second and talk about the upsell video. The first thing you need to do is deliver those on a landing page that includes your value proposition and your testimonial videos, along with the service manager videos. All the other videos that we just talked about need to be included. If you have a how-to video for that particular repair, include that as well. But even if you don't have the how-to video, you want the value proposition video, you want the introduction video and the testimonial videos all right there, so that when the shopper is watching the here's what else needs to be fixed video, they can have quick access, should they choose to watch them, those other videos, that then you've got other people telling them, hey, you know what, you can trust these people. You can trust they're going to take care of you. They're not just trying to rip you off, and really help relieve a lot of that anxiety in that upsell. So that's one place that you can definitely use them, is alongside each other, and that's with each one of them. So no matter where they're being seen, obviously you want a page for each on your website. You don't want someone to have to go trying to find them. Make sure that they're clearly marked service testimony, you know, under your service department section, service testimonials, service department how-to videos. Meet the service department team, and when they get to that page, then boom, here's your introduction videos for each of your people. Obviously, you can have similar pages on your Facebook, where you don't just, you know, you're not just posting content to your wall that is then gone a day, you know, a day or a week later, but you can have an entire tab that's titled Service Department How-To Videos, Meet Our Team videos, all those little tabs for each of the different types. Obviously not the upsell videos. You want to make sure those are private. If you are using YouTube to post those, you want to make sure to host those videos, you want to make sure that those are marked private and that they can't be seen by anybody that hasn't specifically been given that URL. But you do want to leverage YouTube for the other types of videos, because they can get you a lot of traffic, a lot of exposure when people are out doing certain types of searches, or looking for some kind of a proof that they can trust you, that that they're able to find that types of content. Great content for your blogs and your forums. I'm going to assume most of you already have your own blogs, and so they're great for your own, but they're also great content for other blogs and other forums. Obviously, anytime you're doing any kind of service department promotions, you've got an ad that you're going to do for this particular type of service or that particular type of service. Use video landing pages for the promotion that have these videos on them, so that when somebody comes to look at that particular promotion, boom, here's the value proposition video, here's the testimonial videos, here's the how-to videos, all right there supporting that message and bringing them home. So that then brings us to the hosted video platform. Now, the one thing that, you know, I really try to avoid when I'm talking, doing webinars is any kind of promotion of our company or anything of that nature. But this is where you know, there are several video hosting companies that specialize in the automotive industry. So I'm not just talking about us, but there are advantages to using a hosted platform versus just using YouTube as the host. Not that, again, if you're hosted on another platform, still leveraging YouTube, but hosting your videos on a specialized platform, because you start to get a lot of advantages that you just can't get with YouTube. One quick example is just being able to send that quick text message on a landing page that has your videos, other videos associated with it. You know, that's a simple one. From there, though, it really starts getting to being what you can do with the data. If you're not using the data of what's happening with your videos, whether it's in your on the sales side of your dealership or your service side of the dealership, this is something, as you start talking about a video marketing strategy, that your words need to start encompassing. Because there's one strategy of we've got video, then there's all these business strategies that you have. You've got a marketing strategy, you've got a sales strategy, but they don't necessarily merge. There's this big gap in between, yeah, we've got these videos, and here's our marketing strategy, here's our sales strategy. A good marketing strategy is going to incorporate a video marketing strategy. And you're going to use the data of what's happening across the world as a shopper's watching your video. Doesn't matter what video it is. You're going to use your marketing data, the things you're doing with your specials and your promotions, the coupons that you have available this month. Yeah, you've got them in one spot on your website, and you send them out in you know, your local newspaper and this little local periodical and this little local you know, magazine and whatnot, but that's it. If you can leverage the data that you've got from shoppers that are watching this video and watching that video, and know that if somebody's been on your service department page and they watch this how-to video or that how-to video, then boom, because you have a special for that exact thing, you could throw it up, a banner right there on their video that says, hey, here's a coupon for it even. All kinds, there's really no limit. It's all rule-based, it's behavior-based. There's really, if you've got a marketing strategy, if you've got that includes coupons or specials or incentives for your service department, you can leverage that on any video that's being watched out there except YouTube, which is why this is an advantage of a video hosting platform versus YouTube. Same with any type of message that you've got out there. You can follow shoppers who have been on your service side, and then all of a sudden, a month, 2 months, 6 months later, they show up over on your sales side. They show up in a video email campaign. They show up in a video email that your BDC sent out for a lead follow-up. All these different things that you can do to get that shopper information, where when they're on the sales side, they would be anonymous. You wouldn't even know who they are. But because they're in your CRM, they're part of your database because they were a service department video or a service customer, and they opened your video email or your upsell text that you sent them. They opened that and watched that video from the same device that they watch the video email from the lead form follow-up that the BDC department did, you know that's Joe Smith. You know the exact, or one of the vehicles that Joe Smith has that he might be trading in. There's so many things that you can do with the data that's out there and available right now. It's scary to think of where it's all going. There's only a little bit that's available to you. It's not that it doesn't exist. It exists right now today. You probably can't utilize all of it the way you're going to a year or 2 years from now, but it's there. And if you can think creatively, and if you can, again, if we talk about your marketing strategy and your sales strategy, and then you talk about, you add in where the touch points, where does a video, no matter what kind of video it is, fit into those equations, and understand that every time somebody clicks that button to watch the video, you've got the data, and you can combine that data, merge that data, and leverage that data along with your sales and marketing strategies to really enhance the experience for your shopper. And that's what it's all about. If we're talking about what does all of this cost you, it doesn't cost you hardly anything at all. You've probably already got a video camera there at your store. If you don't have it, I'm sure everybody's got somebody there at your store has a smartphone. It's all you need. You don't have to buy expensive video equipment. You don't have to have all this fancy lighting. You don't have to have any fancy video editing tools. Most, if you got a Windows computer, it probably comes with the Windows Movie Maker, and it's very functional at taking and doing some editing, and it's already there. It's very easy to use, very user-friendly. The learning curve is extremely short. In a very quick amount of time, you could have some extremely good video content created. Try to shoot from a controlled environment. Obviously, you don't want too many loud noises going on. I know in one of the testimonials, they were adding the sound. They wanted to make sure they had the sound of the service department prevalent in certain times because they really wanted to set that mood. But you may not want that all of the time. So make certain that you're not in an environment where you're going to have certain distractions or interruptions that you don't want. For the audio option, again, you can talk while shooting the video. You can just shoot the video and have people come in and do audio layers, post-production. There's all different kinds of things you can do for to get good quality audio on there. But mainly, it comes down to the impact your video is going to have is based completely on the content of that video. So just remember two things: be informative, but be sincere. And if you're being sincere, that's what's going to overcome those fears. That's what's going to humanize the message. And people can quickly tell when they're watching a video, when they're looking at somebody. That's the power of the video, is you can tell when somebody's being sincere. So just make sure that you're being sincere and giving good quality information, and your videos are going to be fine. A lot of these other things are not going to have as big of an impact as those two particular things. So thank you all again for visiting. I tried to go fairly quick so we could get you back to work with the end of the month rolling around. If we do have questions, we certainly have time to answer some of them. But we also, the presentation, I think a recording of the presentation or the PowerPoint itself will be available if you would like that as well.
Yes. Actually, I am recording this, and so if anybody would like to see the recording, just shoot me an email at Brian, with an I, B-R-I-A-N, @ autosuccessonline.com, Or you can go to Auto Success Webinars. I will post this to the group Auto Success Webinars on Facebook. Actually, we do have a few questions, Tim, but I think the first one was typed in before your last slide there, and it was, if you don't have great video skills, will a less professional video hurt? You kind of touched that, but you want to maybe revisit that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, in a lot of circumstances, a less professional video is better than a production style video. Not necessarily saying that it should be completely raw and unedited by any means, but you know, it's hard. You start losing some of that sincerity when you add too much production to a video. People don't want to, the shopper doesn't want to see another commercial. They want to see you. They want to get to know you. So yeah, without question, a lot of times a lower, less produced video is gonna be better overall.
Okay. Should everyone in the dealership put the dealership video in the value proposition video in their email signature?
Well, there's certainly no reason you can't link to it. You know, have a little, you know, learn more about me, and then somebody can click on it and go to a landing page that, you know, that has the dealership's value proposition video. The main video is you, but then there's also a dealership value proposition video, maybe a dealership testimonial and a personal testimonial, where a couple of shoppers a couple of your customers are talking about you specifically.
Okay. How many repair process videos should a dealership have?
You know, there's the how do I say it? I guess the rule of thumb is you need to have at least one. So one's better than zero. And from there, it's really hard to have too many. So, I mean, a lot of it's content. So I've got two answers for the question, and one is you don't necessarily need a video for 100% of every year, make, model that your service department can work on, and every repair, you know, of that. You know, if there's certain specific repairs, you know, let's say, for instance, the Ford F-150 has I'm going to forget the name of it, a purge valve that they changed in 2010, I think. Up to 2010, up to 2009, they used a certain style of purge valve, and then they changed it. So every new from 2010 on, they all have this new style, and the new style fails a lot. So, you know, you can just have two. So now you've got one video talking about the EVAC purge valve for Ford F-150s from year 2000 and you know, let's say 2000 through 2009, and then you've got one for 2010, you know, through 2016, and so now, the reason is content. So now you take that. Yes, you've got it on your website, you know, and now that it's on your website, you want to make sure that it's, and this is really leading into something I should have talked about. I apologize I didn't. Having video on your website does nothing for you unless you use it correctly. Now, if you're using it correctly, having video on your website will do more for you, or as much as having that video on YouTube. The reason I say that is what a lot of website companies are still really learning how to leverage video. So you've got to meta tag your videos correctly. You got to have the right name. You got to have the right description. You've got to have the right title for your videos. You've got to reference all of those videos correctly on your website, and then you have to have a video sitemap. Now, I'm sure most of your website companies know how to build a video sitemap, But unfortunately, not many of the website companies in the industry today are utilizing video sitemaps. Well, Google wants you to. Google will tell you flat out, if you're using video on your website, please use a video sitemap. Make this easy for us. Tell us what videos are there. And if you're using that video sitemap, you're potentially going to get indexed higher with the utilization of that video sitemap then that exact same video is going to get indexed from YouTube. But either way, whether it's the one from your website or the one that's on YouTube, it's content. And by having that video twice, one for 2000 and up to 2009s and one for 2010s to 2016, making certain you've got all the right keywords and everything all filled in there. Anybody who types in then somebody's got a 2015 Ford F-150 and are experiencing certain the symptoms of the person, or maybe they go and get a diagnostic and it gives them the codes, and those are things you want in your descriptions as well, right? You want to make sure you're talking about it's code number such and this, that, and the other. So but anybody that types that in is going to find that video. So the more content you have, the more attention you're going to be able to obviously bring to your store. The more volume you're going to be able to drive to your website. So more is better without question. So there's no limit to how many you should have, and there's just definitely no rule that you have to have a certain number or certain ones. But the biggest thing is don't let it overwhelm you. When we start talking about how much content do I got to have, and then people start looking at good, better, and best, everybody's looking at best and gets overwhelmed. And because they look at what's best and look at all the work involved with being the best in content generation, how-to video content generation, they're like, oh wow, there's no way I'm going to really get there. So then they don't do anything, and so you're back down at zero now. Whereas if you just do one, now you got one. That's one step in the right direction. You can't take two steps until you've taken that first one.
Okay. Well, actually, there was one other question about the slide deck. Yes, the slide deck is available. If you could please send me an email and I will send it to you. Yeah, if anybody wants the slide deck or to see or the recording, please send an email to Brian with an I at autosuccessonline.com. That's our last question. Everybody, I'd like to remind you to join the group Auto Success Webinars. That way you'll never miss a webinar that you want to see, because we post them all there. And if there's topics you'd like to see covered in the future, especially if there's a video topic, Tim and I do these every month. And so if there's a video topic or something you want to learn more about, please shoot me an email, go in the group and mention it, tag me in it, and we'll cover it for you. Tim, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your day today to share all this good information with everybody. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners and viewers before we go?
It's an exciting. These are exciting times, and it's not that video is the future, because video's now. You have to start getting good at putting together a video marketing strategy now. And just kind of like we were just talking about with the good, better, best scenario. You're not going to start getting good until you start. So stop looking at it as just, I got to have video. I need this type of video, that type of video, and start looking at it from a merging of your sales and marketing strategies with video content. And that's it.
Well, great. Well, everyone in attendance, thank you for coming. As I mentioned, Tim is a regular guest. We do one of these every month. I appreciate everybody taking the time, and I hope you all finish the month strong. Have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.